In session. Let's stand and join me for a moment of silence, if you would. Mr. Vickers, will you lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Danielle, will you call the roll, please?
Mayor Dolphin.
Here.
Mr. Vickers.
here.
Ms. Lillard.
Here.
Mr. Shalrow.
Here.
Mr. Pettit.
Here.
Mr. Sowers.
Here.
Mr. Webb.
Here.
All right, thank you. Do we have any additions to or deletions from the agenda?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to add a recommendation for appointment to the BZA.
Okay, and again, we'll put that down in item F, under action items.
Oh, we'll need a second for that, I think.
Yes, I need a second. All right, any discussion? Danielle?
Mr. Vickers.
Yes.
Ms. Lillard.
Yes.
Mr. Shalrow.
Yes.
Mr. Pettit.
Yes.
Mr. Sowers.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes.
All right. Okay, this meeting of the Luray Town Council is being held pursuant to the April 13th, 2020 ordinance for continuity in the government of Luray. The town clerk shall read the names of the council members present and identify those who are electronically present. The town manager is responsible for receiving public comment in advance of the meeting, which may be submitted by mail, email, phone, or hand delivery by 5 p.m. on the day of the meeting. In-person attendance and comment by the public is also permitted, subject to the limitations of the most recent executive order and phasing guidelines issued by Governor Northam. This meeting can be viewed live on the town's Facebook page, and a recording will be available on the town's YouTube channel. Minutes from the meeting will be posted on the town's website after being approved by the town council. All right, consent agenda.
Mayor, I'd like to move that we approve the following consent agenda. The minutes of the regular council meeting, January 11th, 2021. The minutes of the special council meetings, January 16th, January 20th, and January 26th of 2021. The minutes of the work session, January 26th, 2021. Financial statements ending January 31st, 2021, and accounts payable totaling $107,326.12.
Second.
Discussion? Danielle?
Ms. Lillard.
Yes.
Mr. Shalrow.
Yes.
Mr. Pettit.
Just a question. Is the accounts payable correct?
Yeah, I have
Yeah, it shows
42.
the corrected
No, there's an amended one.
Oh, sorry,
All right then.
sorry.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, we're-
yes.
Mr. Sowers.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Vickers.
Yes.
All right, general citizen comments. Mr. Mike Fultz. Mr. Fultz, welcome. If you could give us your name and address for our records, please.
Mike Foltz, President, Stanley Volunteer Fire Company.
Probably need your address too, if you don't mind.
Address?
Yeah.
190 East Main Street, Stanley.
Okay.
Unfortunately, last year with the COVID and everything, we had to cancel our trout tournament we had the previous year. But we've come back to you this year. Excuse me. Kevin had spoke to someone that May the 1st was available through the town. So we're asking, with permission, would y'all be willing to do it again with the FOP, the same as it was 2 years ago? One thing we would like to do, me and Kevin has spoke, and we've also run by some of the FOP members, being Charlie passed away, we would like to do a $250 scholarship to Paige and a $250 scholarship to Luray for the seniors in memory of Charlie.
That's good.
As before, the fire department FOP would be in charge of the cleanup parking lot, the creek banks and stuff. And one thing that Charlie had worked on last year, we've got to check back in with it, which we still have the money and everything. Charlie was having a vehicle put on the line that if you caught a tag fish, you was given like, say, 10 remote controls to vehicles. If the one you pick off a board would unlock the vehicle, it's your vehicle. Or you could take it back to Keith's Auto, anything equal value, you could trade in on a car if you didn't want a truck, or vice versa, whatever. So we're still looking at that there. I have spoke to some of the gentlemen that does a local stalking for the Hawksbill Cub Run area, and we was talking about the COVID and everything. The only thing that they ask is if you're within 6 foot side by side of each other fishing, just please wear a mask. Outside of that, there's no restrictions, on it and everything. So I'm just asking as a member of the fire company, and I'm speaking, there's no FOP here, if y'all be willing.
Well, we got one.
There's a guy back
I
there.
think he is.
Oh, it struck me.
It's the mask.
I didn't know if he's that.
It's-
If y'all would be willing to allow it to happen again this year, if nothing changes.
Sure. Council? Any questions?
Just one question, what was the date again?
May 1st.
And that's not in conflict with any other pre-planned
From
event?
what I spoke to Kevin,
I don't think so. Okay, all right, very good. But we will confirm that. Yes, very good.
And I think before, maybe there were some idea of combining with the Luray Fire Department. Y'all asked them and they
see, we
said they
tried
weren't
that
interested.
last year,
Did
they
you
was
all,
not interested, and they've even been spoke to this year, and they're not
they're still not,
interested.
did you have talked to them this year? Okay,
Or even serving food, they're not interested.
okay.
Huh, okay.
Do we need to approve this, or
Well, not citizen comments?
just FYI?
The chief would approve it, but
Okay.
if there's any concerns from the first council,
From what I remember,
you.
it was a well-run event when it went, so.
Actually, after everything was paid out last time, I don't have the exact figures in front of me, but I think it was, like $2,045 to the fire company and the same amount to the FOP for our first year out. And we had, I think it was 13 different counties, people from 13 different counties here. And it was turning to actually be something bigger because the word had got out about the vehicle. But unfortunately, the COVID had better decisions.
Well, thank you, Mr. Foltz. Good luck to you, and it's very nice, I think, to do the thing in memory of Mr. Sowers. He was a fine man.
I appreciate it, and I do have one thing here that I do need a signature so we can turn it into the Virginia Department of Game. Bo, do it? Okay. I thank y'all, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Mrs. Dees, always a pleasure.
Mayor, council, welcome Councilwoman Lillard.
Thank you.
Excited to see you here. I will keep it short and sweet. I just have a couple little housekeeping items. This will not be my last meeting, but it'll be my next to last. So we are ready to extend an offer to a member of our community who is ready to take on the LGI director role. You guys are going to be pleased. We have a really wonderful candidate selected. So next meeting in March, we'll officially pass the baton. So as soon as that's made public, you guys will all get an email introducing that person. So stay tuned. In your packets, I think Steve was nice enough to print off a little Mardi Gras flyer for you guys. If you remember last year, right before COVID reared its ugly head, we introduced the Mardi Gras sort of event in downtown Luray. The feedback we got on it last year was phenomenal. There were so many tourists. I don't know if any of you participated in it last year, but there were so many people from outside of town, downtown, wearing masks, shopping, and participating. So our plan was to do it again this year and ramp it up just a little bit. However, we've decided to keep this event as a placeholder and just what you see there, advertise what our local businesses in downtown are doing to participate. So not drawing any crowds, doing anything too crazy, but you can see it's a pretty lengthy list. So I think our businesses like it. They wanted to participate. I think it's a really cool, something a little bit different. If you guys remember the original intent of it, Jason, you can remember back from when we planned it, but we wanted to do events quarterly, and a lot of them oftentimes center around shopping holidays, Christmas or Valentine's Day. So this was really an opportunity for us to get all businesses, not just shops, involved during a time that's slow in our community. So I hope you guys will come down and participate. I would like the record to also show that is my birthday. So now you have to participate. So come downtown. There's lots of fun stuff going on. This campaign will be primarily driven via social media, so you won't see a whole lot of printed collateral for the event, but check your Facebooks. You'll see us promoting that. And then one additional thing, Page County Restaurant Week will also come back this year. Again, things will look a little bit different than they have in years past. The dates for that will be Sunday, March 13th through Saturday, March 20th. And again, that's a county-wide partnership with all three towns, the Page County Economic Development Office, and the Chamber of Commerce. So we're going to continue to promote that and promote the local restaurants in the county. Any questions from you guys?
Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thanks, Meredith.
Thank you, Mayor. All right. All right, in just a minute, we're going to have a public hearing on the sale of 36 West Main Street. The reason we're doing this is the Browns Building located at 36 West Main Street, tax map number 42A-11-A-14, was constructed in 1921 as the Bridge Theater building. The building became the home of Brown's Restaurant in 1940, with an addition constructed in 1947. The town of Luray purchased the property in October 2014 in advance of the reconstruction of the West Main Street Bridge for $327,000. The town improved the building by installing plexiglass windows in the second floor, regular repairs to the roof to address leaks, and clean the building's interior. The town also secured a grant from the Luray Downtown Initiative to paint the exterior of the building. At the time, the town purchased 0.91 acres of property along with the building. The acquisition of the building also allowed the town to secure ownership of a portion of property that included the Hawksbill Greenway. The town will also retain the parking lot at the rear of the property to provide public parking for downtown and the Greenway. The town will also retain permanent easements for the pedestrian facilities on either side of the building. Though the town has attempted to maintain the prevent deterioration of the building, it will require significant investment of time and materials to reestablish it for commercial and residential use. The town has been marketing the building and 0.025 acres of property for sale since 2019. The town has received an offer of $50,000 from IBR Corporation to improve the building to establish a restaurant on the ground floor, improve the stage area for use, and improve the second floor for short-term and long-term residences. IBR has a long tradition of improving properties that they acquire that the town feels will continue with the rehabilitation of the Browns Building to restore it as a contributing building to the vibrancy of downtown Luray. Any other council members want to say anything before we open the public hearing?
Yeah, I'll just say that since I was involved with the bridge in 2011, when we started this in 2011, we found out that the abutments to the bridge were kind of more or less connected to the Browns building. That was something we didn't find out till afterwards. Basically, as I see this, and I said the other day, with this particular building, with the Chews owning it, I guess, since the 70s, looks like you patronized it in the 70s. I'm a little bit Jerry. I saw the other day.
I heard that.
This is really their life's work here. And when it came down to the town needing it quiet for various reasons, I guess we could have condemned it and maybe got it at a lower price, but I really feel like what the town did, and I was on the staff at the time, was really a friendly condemnation. Could have gotten it for less, maybe, but would that really, to me, have been something that I would want to do to anyone up here or any citizen especially when someone has spent their life working on the building. So I thought it was a fair price at the time. When you look at the bridge itself and the project, it's about a little over $5 million went into improving that bridge. The town, I just talked to Mr. Crispin about this, put in about $950,000 into that bridge, so a little less than 20%, and that includes the purchase of the Browns building. When I was running for office, one of the biggest concerns I really had that didn't really come up as much was the future of this building. We hear a lot about, as we should, about the vibrancy of downtown and the different buildings. Personally, after reading the letter from Mr. George, I have not met him personally, but I think IBR just is the perfect entity to buy this. I think in their letter, they have a very keen understanding of the need to keep the civic space and the theater, improving the potential restaurant and short-term rentals. In my opinion, the amount of literally the millions of dollars that will go into improving this, their $50,000 is really $50,000 of good faith payment to us to show us that they intend to improve this. So I'm very thankful that they're part of this. Their record, obviously what they've done to the Page building speaks for itself and their other real estate holdings. So having said that, again, just to kind of make it very clear in my sort of view of how this process unfolded, I personally, as a member of the council and the community, am really excited to see IBR own this and move forward, and it's a really exciting time for downtown Luray with other things going on too. So that's all I have to say.
Anybody else?
Are there any, I'd like to hear, I might have some comments I'd like to hear. Are there citizens' comments? Did
Well,
you receive any citizens' comments?
Then we open the public hearing first?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, I thought we'd already opened it. I'm sorry.
I do notice one thing. At one point, we listed as 36, and in the agenda it's 34. Is that are they both, or?
No, it is 36.
It's 36, okay,
Yes, sir.
36, all right. Okay, all right. All right, and now open the public hearing for the sale of real property at 36 West Main Street, Luray. Any comments?
Yes, sir, the town did receive an email comment from Jim Turner at 830 Mill Creek Crossroads in Luray. Good evening, council members, mayor. My name is Jim Turner. I live at 830 Mill Creek Crossroads, Luray. I don't live in the town limits, but I have 4 properties in the town of Luray, so I feel like I have some skin in the game relative to town business. Financial stewardship is one of the biggest responsibilities a governing body has, and not one to be taken lightly. I buy and sell a good bit of property, so I feel that I have a better understanding of the market than perhaps a regular individual. I would like to share some comps on Main Street from recent sales are not. I would like to share some comps on Main Street. Some are recent, some are not, but they are all paint a picture from a value standpoint. 36 West Main Street, town paid $327,000 in October 2014. That's $19.63 per square foot. Proposed offer, $50,000, $3 per square foot. 42 West Main, page 1, sold for $175,000 in June 2005. That's $22.83 per square foot. 48 West Main Fairview Apartments, sold March 2000 for $227,000 by IBR. That's $31.01 per square foot. 52 West Main Old Gym, sold December 2018 for $300,000. That's $19.32 per square foot. 58 West Main Building on corner of Main and Hawksville, sold March 2009 for $175,000. That's $57.45 per square foot. 20 West Main, previously bicycle shop, sold July 2018 for $150,000. That's $57.69 per square foot. 211 West Main, Old Chapman House and building below, IBR purchased property December 2020 for $100,000. That's $18.10 per square foot. Hopefully this gives an idea of the real property values. Just a couple options for the town to consider are possibly taking sealed bids with a right of refusal to any and all bids, an online auction with auction.com. They handle a lot of properties that would open it up to a bigger audience. I bring these concerns as a taxpayer. The goal in real estate is to buy low and sell high. Having said that, I would put my investor hat on and make an offer of $55,000 cash. Close immediately and will show proof of funds.
All right. Any other comments? Mr. Burke, that's all we have? You have?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else?
I would love to see Brown's building sold to IVR, actually. Private citizen and not as a form of helping out. I think they have the wherewithal to do it. They're local folks who know this community, and I think it would only be an asset for us, all of us going forward.
Thank you, Mr. Upton. Appreciate that. Any other comments?
I like the second comment. Yes, the company is local. I think if you open up like an online for people outside of town, you will be getting, you know, who you have or how you are. Sounds like they'll do the job that you want them to do with the building.
Thank you, sir, for your comments.
Mr. Mayor, could you ask name?
Sir, would you mind giving us your name and address for our records, please?
Mike Nestor, 14 Springview Boulevard, Luray.
You lived up beside Ann Kane, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes, we remember you. Yeah, good to see you, sir. All right, any other comments? All right, I declare this public hearing closed. Council?
Yeah, I think Ligon did a great job of kind of stating what the town's position and the situation we were in. Just one question, did Mr. Turner at any time request to see the building or
No, sir.
discuss an offer with?
And from what I understand, he's not submitted any contact or offer to Mr. Dudley.
Okay. As the mayor stated, you know, the building's been on the market since 2019. And we also initiated an RFP for a public-private partnership where we hope to engage with a private investor to develop it into some sort of retail combination residential space. We were unsuccessful at doing that. I think that our goal right now, and when we purchased the building, you have to understand, we didn't have much choice. I mean, the building was intertwined with the bridge, so we couldn't get the necessary construction easements that we needed to do the construction on the bridge. Also, the right-of-way and easement for the greenway was encumbered by the property because there had never been a right-of-way or easement obtained from the prior owner for the greenway. So we could have had a toll booth on the greenway, I guess. The parking lot at the back of the building, we didn't have the easement to keep that as public parking. And there were some utility easements as well that were involved on the property with the stream bed and Hawksbill Creek that we couldn't access to upgrade water and sewer lines that crossed the property. So we didn't have a choice but to purchase the property. And Ligon's right. We had a person there that operated the business for 30+ years. Could we have gone to condemnation and gotten it cheaper? I'm not so sure we could have. At condemnation, we probably would have had to end up paying somewhere close to market value or fair market value for it, and also incurred legal expenses going through a condemnation. So I'm not so sure we would have gotten it any cheaper if we'd have gone that condemnation route. Our goal right now is to get the property back on the tax rolls, to get a use there that's conducive with downtown Luray. It's clearly an anchor building for downtown Luray, and we need someone that has the resources and has a proven track record to do that for us. And I think IBR is one to do that. So I'm along with everyone else that spoke, I'm very happy to see IBR interested in purchasing it. Thank you, Mayor.
Sure. Thank you, Jerry. Any other council comments? All right, council, what's your pleasure?
I'll move the town council approve the sale of 36 West Main Street for $50,000 to IBR Corporation and adopt the resolution that's presented in the package to accomplish that.
Second that.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I'm glad this is finally happening. We've owned this building long enough.
We have, I agree. It's also deteriorating, you can see it's deteriorating, it's going downhill, and it's kind of embarrassing to me to have that in the middle of town, and we need to do something.
It's an exciting day for Luray, right? It really is.
It is.
The fact that we're seeing this building. Well, we're
Well,
not
haven't
finished-
voted
we
yet.
haven't voted yet. But it is. It's an exciting day for Luray. It's not just this building. It's several buildings we're seeing change ownership and people that have a vision to improve downtown. That shows that they believe that Luray is on the right track, and they're not just buying it to lose money. They're buying it because they see a profitable business venture. So it is an exciting day for Luray. So I'm excited about it. I think you all know how I'm going to vote.
Right. Any other discussion? All right, Danielle?
Mr. Gyro.
Yes.
Mr. Pettit.
Yes.
Mr. Sowers.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Vickers.
Yes.
Ms. Lillard.
Yes.
Now you may clap, Meredith. Okay.
Meredith's going to take credit for all of this. Isn't he?
All right. And I forgot to mention, some of your facade improvements are showing up. And that's looking just wonderful. So thank you all for those improvements.
We're going to continue that program, maybe even twice a year if we can pull it off.
I mean, the building right across the street, that's one of the facade, that's looking great, that's great. Yeah. So thank you all for that. All right, Mr. Burke, turn it over to you for a while.
Yes, sir. Town council's request to consider the request from the Luray Little League to renew their concession agreement for the 2021 season. Staff had reviewed the request and agree that it should be considered for extension. And the agreement that we have with them does allow for a few more multiple year extensions. So staff would recommend consideration of these requests.
Well, Mayor, I'd like to move that the town council approves this renewal of the concession agreement for the Ralph Dean Park for the 2021 season for the Luray Little League.
Second.
All right, motion and second, any discussion? All right, Danielle?
Mr. Pettit.
Yes.
Mr. Sowers.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Vickers.
Yes.
Ms. Lillard.
Yes.
Mr. Sowers.
Yes.
All right. Steve, did we reply to those other folks that weren't arrested, or we were gonna wait until we
We
passed tonight?
responded to them.
Oh,
We can.
okay, let's do that. All right, Steve, you're still up.
Yes, sir. Council's requested to consider the updates to chapter 8.11, emergency closings of the town's personnel policy that will establish how we address overtime or compensatory time for our emergency response workers that continue to work after town hall is closed and employees within are sent home for emergency events.
Well, Mayor, we've had discussion on this. I think it's been worked out, so I'd like to move that the town council adopt the updates to chapter 8.11, emergency closure of the town's personnel policies manner related to inclement weather as presented with the update to take effect immediately.
Second.
Discussion. Danielle?
Mr. Sowers.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Vickers.
Yes.
Ms. Lillard.
Yes.
Mr. Gyro.
Yes.
Mr. Pettit.
Yes.
Steve, you're still at bat.
Yes, sir. Each year, our planning commission is required to provide town council with an annual report updating council on the actions that were taken by the commission. Planning commission has adopted their 2020 planning and zoning annual report, which indicates continued increase in the amount of development within the town for 2020, and we hope that that continues into 2021.
Excellent report. Do we need to approve this, or just this is,
Yes, sir, council.
We need to approve it, okay.
We request your consideration.
okay, all right. Do I have a motion to approve this report?
I move that town council accept the 2020 Planning Commission annual report as presented.
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion?
Yeah, it's just really positive to see, look at the certificate of occupancies go from 4 in 2017 to 3 in 18 to 2 in 19, but then 11 in 2020. So again, it's just a great sign of some positive growth.
All right. Any other discussion, comments? Danielle again, please.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Vickers?
Yes.
Ms. Fuller?
Yes.
Mr. Sharrow?
Yes.
Mr. Pettit?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes.
The next two items that we have are just for your discussion and any input that council might have as we go forward with them. First, item 9D is updates to the town website. We've been notified by our webmaster that the software platform for our website is no longer supported, and as such, we'll need to conduct some updates to the website as well as change its platform. They have provided us a proposal with a cost of about $18,000 to make that transition. Funds were not included in the budget, so we would need to either move them forward from general fund reserves, or if council desired, we could postpone consideration of the update until the 2022 budget. Staff would recommend moving forward as timely as possible with award of this contract. It will take some time for Standout Arts to perform the update. So staff would request consideration by council and direction as far as that, and if there's any ideas, concerns, or opportunities for things that you would like to see in our new website, we'd be open to input.
Will the new website contain our meetings where people can go on and look at the meetings chronologically? And also, if we could warehouse that somehow on the website with the agendas, past agendas, not forever, but maybe a year or so, and plus the recordation of the meetings as well, in terms of the videos, would be helpful if you could, people could.
I think it's possible, but I will need to confirm that.
Yeah, it's possible, I know, but I'm wondering if they'll do it for that, but it would
The
be.
agendas are already on the current one,
The
right?
agendas are on
in,
there,
the
but it's really
minutes
nice if you can
for,
go
like,
back and check
recent,
the videos, because
would be
if,
nice.
for a lot of reasons, if there's some question about some action of the council or whatever the case might be, anyone can go back and check and see exactly what happened, so that might be something nice to include.
Do we know what what we paid the last major revision here, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that?
I don't know off the top of my head, I can check on that.
I'd love to see that, and also to push back a little bit, I'd love to know like a quantifiable reason that it's more than I know a lot of other sites are built for. I don't know what LDI paid for your website, but just based it off other sites, I know there's a little more to this, a little more complex, but it's still a pretty simple website in the grand scheme. So,
Steve, did I read somewhere that with the new site, staff will be able to make additions or corrections to it themselves as opposed to having to go to the webmaster? That'd be a
Yes,
lot
sir.
more convenient, I would think.
Yes, sir. The new platform would offer us greater ability to make additions and minor changes, yes, sir.
Because I think it keeps up pretty good, but in today's fast world, the way things change so quickly.
And Steve, this obviously this is to rebuild the whole site. This is not like the monthly hosting fee or whatever,
This
right?
would be
What is what is our monthly maintenance fee with them to update and?
I'd need to check on that. The amount that we pay them varies depending on, because they are responsible now to do all of the updates whenever we add additional meetings, agendas, things of that nature. There's a cost for that. I would have to check and I can get that for you.
And when should we have this to? When do they need to know this again?
Well,
Shannon?
Again, if council desired for us to push this back, award of it until the FY '22 budget, we would simply let them know that. The concern would be if for any reason there was issues with the website, with it not being hosted, it could present more of an emergency need in the future if we don't proceed with some plan of replacing it.
Well, the idea is that Adobe has phased out the software that it's built on, which means that it's not going to be supported for updates, but existing web editors would still be available. So you would just have a legacy software it's like using Windows 7 at this point or something, right? It would be equivalent. Is that correct? I don't think it's not posing any immediate security risk.
I don't,
Want to jump in here anytime?
I don't believe so.
I don't have.
Okay. So if it was built on Flash or something where that's a known vulnerability and it's going to be an actual security risk, but it's safe, it's secure, but it's just.
We can confirm that with.
Okay.
with
Because
Mr.
my understanding of it is it's just simply that. It's an outdated software that it's built on. But the site itself is fine.
I was just the other day commenting just how good it was.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so
yeah.
it might
We
be
had
something worth.
I'm sorry.
Might be, yeah, go ahead, Jerry.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, go ahead, finish.
It might be something worth considering putting off, quite frankly, if we're, maybe not. I'm fine with an updated website, especially if it's going to drive more traffic and add value, but I think we maybe should push back on what value add we're really looking at here. Like to have a clear understanding. I might be totally wrong.
I mean, can we
That's fine.
continue with what we have? I mean, I guess I can email some questions to you that maybe ask. I mean, I worked with Shannon. I know she does a great job in updates.
Yeah.
It just seems to me the one that they use in Madison's a very user-friendly where staff can just log right in and put agendas, and that probably is the way to go. But I guess I just have a few more questions about the rationale for updating this, and again, Joey probably has more experience as far as, the whole rebooting it. I remember we did it last time, but it does seem a little expensive, but
I do recall from the proposal that part of the cost is for her or her staff to visit Front Royal and do some photographs and videos to incorporate into the website itself. So it's not simply just the.
Taking the archive.
Yeah, why do we want Front Royal pictures on our site?
I'm sorry.
You're good.
That's fine, Steve.
that's
All
nice.
right.
I mean, they can go from it.
Yeah. Just stop on the way. Yeah.
But if council has any other additional questions,
That's good.
we will definitely ask them.
Do we just want to table this to the work session or the future, or?
Did we send out any other RFPs or?
No, sir, this was, basically, we received this, 3 weeks ago? So, no, sir, we wanted to get your input. If council does desire, we can definitely set up an RFP.
Just be good to see, keep them honest.
Does anybody local do it? Do we know anybody, or?
We tried when LBI updated our site, and Shannon, we got a bid from Shannon as well, and while she is, sometimes on the high side, I know Joey, you sat in, and Jason, you probably remember that conversation as well. The type of work that likely she is, putting in the proposal is some probably really cool new stuff, so it's a little bit of both. If it is WordPress that you guys are using currently, yeah, to your point, Joey, it's kind of getting outdated. I think that's what we still use, and it works, but probably not for a long-term large site like you guys are hosting, so.
No, we're using some Adobe solution of some sort, yeah.
WordPress, yeah.
All right, anything else on that? We're gonna just table it till the work session, or we gather some more information? Everybody okay with that? Okay. All right. All right, Mr. Burke, split zoned parcels.
The last item that we have is just, again, informational. The town currently has about 68 parcels in the town that are split zoned. The planning commission has been working with the town attorney to identify how the town can proceed with reducing the number of split zone properties. It's not really a problem from the town's perspective, it's more of a problem from the property owner's perspective, that if they try to get financing on a property that is split zoned, it typically will present a problem to the financing company. So we have sent a letter, there is a copy of the generic letter in your packet to all of the affected property owners with a suggested zoning, one of the more predominant zonings that they have on their property. We've heard from probably 20.
20, and I've got 9 applications back, so we're 9 moving forward.
So we wanted to present this to you in case any of the property owners contacted you. We are trying to work with them. It is a net benefit to them. The town would absorb all of the costs for the advertising for public hearings, both at the planning commission and town council level, so there's no cost to the individual property owners. It's simply that we're trying to reduce potential problems in the future.
And these are all properties on Rosser?
But no, not all of them. The map.
Oh, okay,
there-
so I
I'm
was
sorry.
wondering,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Rosser one was, there's a number of them on Rosser, and we wanted to simply provide y'all with, this is the problem, but it's all throughout town. There's residential, but because they fronted 211, they also have an additional higher density apartment designation. And the letters that went out to all the people on Rosser was a recommendation to revert to an R3 zoning classification.
So Steve, does this have to be all or nothing? Can they pick or choose if they want to stay with R5 and you'd have
We can't
R3
force
mixed
it.
in with R5? or-
We can't force
Can't
anyone
downzone.
to.
You can't, okay.
This is simply an opportunity for them to correct the
Okay,
problem.
okay.
And our plan is, we're hoping to hear from as many as possible so that we can make this an effort where we have a number of parcels that are considered for rezoning at one time.
Okay.
Well, Steve, how do they get, 2 zonings to begin with?
Again, most likely, some of the properties, it may have simply been, just a line drawn. Some of them, I
The line
couldn't tell
drawn
you.
through the partial,
Yes, sir.
so half of it's one zone, the other one's, okay, I
Yes,
got
sir.
it.
I want to say for this, and also like with some of the sewer issues over in Mechanic Street area, where you all have worked amicably with the homeowners, kudos. It's really good. I think it's a great service to our community. You're not charging them for it. I know a lot of people are probably like, oh no, how much is this going to cost me? But instead you're saying, nope, this is to your benefit. We want to do this for you. We're not charging you. Well done.
All right, Mr. Burke, you have anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Mr. Sowers, guess it's up to you now?
Yes. I would like to, I've known Andy Cavaness for a number of years. He's an insurance salesman here in town. He's done a lot for our community, and I think he would be a great fit on the Board of Zoning Appeals. So I move that Town Council recommend the appointment of Andy Cavaness to the Board of Zoning Appeals to the Circuit Court.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Danielle?
Mr. Vickers?
Yes.
Ms. Lillard?
Yes.
Mr. Shower?
Yes.
Mr. Pettit?
Yes.
Mr. Sadler?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Bodkins, anything to report tonight?
I don't have anything tonight, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right, any council comments?
Glad to have Stephanie aboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Anybody else? Council comments? I guess it's down to me, the mayor's announcements. I really don't have anything. I enjoyed our retreat Saturday. I thought we got a lot done, and it was very fruitful, I thought.
I'd like to thank you for the idea, because, as I've said in public meetings, and, we don't get together, like, I've never done a situation staff or, being elected for a month of doing something like that. So I'd just like to thank the mayor for thinking of it, and I thought it was a very productive meeting for all of us. So I appreciate your leadership on that, Mayor.
Well, again, I thank you all for giving up your Saturday, most of your Saturday.
Yeah, a good chunk of it.
Thank you, Joey.
I contributed to that, so I can't complain so much.
All right, I guess that wraps things up. We're going to recess briefly, and then we're going to go into a closed session. So thank you all for coming. You can wait outside if you'd like. Nobody ever does, but you certainly can if you want to. Thank you all for coming. Drive safely home.
See you, Mike.
I'm sorry?
You want to do the closed hearing motion?
Oh, sure.
Well, I guess we're ready. Well, it's Brian, is he leaving, staying? Is he staying?
Mayor, I move the town council convene and go into closed meeting for the purpose of discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property, where discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the town's bargaining position or negotiating strategy, as authorized by Section 2.23711A3 of the Code of Virginia. The subject matter is a possible acquisition of real property associated with the town's utility system.
Second?
Second.
Danielle?
Mr. Vickers?
Yes.
Ms. Lillard?
Yes.
Mr. Gyro?
Yes.
Mr. Pettit?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mayor, I move the closed meeting be adjourned and Luray Town Council reconvene in open session.
Second.
I guess there's no discussion. Danielle?
Mr. Vickers?
Yeah.
Ms. Lillard?
Yes.
Mr. Gyro?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Mr. Petters?
Yes.
Ms. Sowers?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
I mean,
You don't have to. It's up to you.
okay, I'll read, okay. All right, I move that with respect to the just completed closed session and to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the town council. Danielle?
Mayor Dolphin?
Yes.
Mr. Vickers?
Yes.
Ms. Lillard?
Yes.
Mr. Gyro?
Yes.
Mr. Pettit?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
All right, the closed session is open, and we're back in regular session. Anybody else have anything? Meeting adjourned.